Branding. Branding is a tool that every business person must utilize if they want their business to experience more profit and visibility. So, as a public speaker, it's one of the tools you should utilize if you want your public speaking business to experience more profit and visibility. So, let's look at the definition of branding. What is branding? Take a look at these pictures. Take a look at the logo. You discover that there are logo of different organizations. We have the logo of Nigeria Labour Congress. We have that of Central Bank of Nigeria. We have that of UNESCO. Now, take note of the differences. Each logo has a unique color. Each logo has a unique symbol, and each logo has a unique name. You see NLC, you see Central Bank of Nigeria, you see UNESCO. Now, what is branding? Branding is distinguishing your products and services from another's by means of brand items such as name, term, symbol, or design. Take a look at the design of these symbols. You see that they are different. So, how is your brand different from another brand? What unique thing are you putting into your brand to differentiate it from another brand? We have so many public speakers around the world. We have so many public speaking brands around the world. What differentiates your brand from another is your brand name, your brand symbol, your brand logo, and design. What are you putting into your brand to make your product and services different from another's product and services? This is what branding is all about. And one of the things branding will do for you is that when you give your best into your brand, it will separate you from another brand. It will give you more visibility, and with more visibility comes more profit, because people will always call who they know. People would always call who they see. People would always call that person that is consistent in showing up and giving you value in the marketplace. Your coaching business needs a brand name. What's a brand name? A brand name is different from your legal name. A brand name is that unique name that your customers can easily remember. For instance, let's say your business was registered as T Prime Consulting Service Limited. You see how long that name is. Some people might not even remember the name, but then our brand name is still consulting because we want people to make it a daily thing. You take tea every day, although that's not the meaning of tea in our own concept, but then we decide to give it tea consulting because we feel this is a name people would easily remember. And funny enough, people tend to call who they know and the person that always comes to their mind. So your brand name is that unique name that your customers can easily remember. So when carving a brand name for yourself, ensure that the name is simple and it's something that is catchy. It's something that your audience like to associate with. Then the next thing your business needs is a brand logo. What is that symbol associated with your brand? Also, simplicity is one of the things you should consider when designing a brand logo. Take a look at MTN brand logo. You see how simple it is. The brand color, the brand logo, it's just a yellow with a slant of red written that is, yes, yellow color. Yes, just I'm trying to give you the picture of the MTN logo. It's yellow, then the MTN is written in black layers. Yes, look at how simple that brand logo is. The brand color is not multiple, it's just simple, just combination of two colors. So the colors associated with your brand should not be something that is too shouting, something that um, your brand can't easily recognize. Whenever you see yellow, you know, oh, this is MTN. Whenever you see red, you know, oh, this is Airtel. Whenever you see green, you know, oh, this is Glow. So choose a particular color that people would always remember. They will remember your brand whenever they see that particular color. For us at Chiconzot, our brand color is white and gold. And choose something catchy, something that people can easily identify with your brand. The next thing is to have a brand motto. A brand motto is that thing that you want people to associate with your brand. You can say something like, oh, creativity at its peak, or something like intentionality is something like that. So have a brand value too. Brand value is the core values of your brand. What do you stand for as a brand? What do you stand for as a person? One of the things business people do is that they bring out their core values, their big brand core values from their personal core values. What are those things that are very, very important to you? Maybe you want your brand to stand for truth. Maybe you want your brand to stand for excellence. Maybe you want your brand to stand for productivity and growth. Fine, go ahead. One of the things that I'm so mindful about is growth, productivity, and excellence. And that is what our brand is selling to the people. That is what we want to see in every organization. That is what we want to see. We want to see people's organization grow. We want to see excellence in people's organization. That is what our brand keep putting out when we offer services. That is what we keep giving out. So what is that particular thing you want your brand to stand for? Write it down and make it your brand value. How do you want to be perceived by the public? Now, your brand perception is determined by your brand personality. That's why we say brand personality affects brand perception. And what is brand personality? Brand personality is how people see your brand. It is who your brand is. How do you appear to people? What is your brand saying whenever they see you? Is it speaking excellence or mediocrity? Whenever people see your brand, are they seeing your brand as a weak brand or a strong brand? Now take a look of yourself as an individual. What's your personality? What comes to mind when people see you as an individual? Now, as an individual, do they see you as a weak person or a strong person? Now, if you can relate that to your brand, that would be so amazing. Yes. Now, just as every human have their own unique personality, every brand has its own unique personality, and this personality affects how people see them. Now, a brand can be seen as a weak brand, or a strong brand, or a serious brand, or a jovial brand, or a comic brand, just the way humans are seen as serious or jovial. You can look at somebody and say, oh, this person has a very serious personality. This person looks like somebody that doesn't joke. Or this person, oh, this person is a clown. He jokes too much. I don't think he will ever be serious. So that is how people perceive our brands too. Our brand personality affects our brand perception. How you show up determines how people see your brand. Do you show up as a serious brand or as a brand that people can take lightly? Are you showing up as a simple brand, or whenever people see your brand, they say, ah, these people are scammers? So, how you show up determines what people think about your brand. Those things you are doing, you might think it doesn't count. Your post on social media, the things you support, the idea you are supporting as a brand, the things you are sponsoring as a brand affects how people see you. That is why you have to be mindful of the programs your brand is supporting, because it affects how people would see your brand. How do you want people to see your brand? This is your brand perception. This is your brand personality, because your brand personality affects your brand perception. If you want people to see your brand as a serious brand, keep being professional. Keep putting out ideas that shows that you know what you are doing. However you want your business to be seen, keep showing up in that manner, because your brand personality affects your brand perception. And that is why we're going to be talking about brand appearance here. Your brand appearance affects your brand personality. Your brand appearance is what you speak and how you look in the public. What are people hearing whenever they see your brand? Now, once again, I want you to relate this to your own person, to your own life as an individual. Whenever people see you, what comes to mind? Now, if you can relate this to yourself successfully, then relate it to your brand. Your brand appearance is how you speak, how you look, and how you show up in the public. Are you showing up as an excellent brand or a brand that is shabby? Whatever you wear your brand is what people will see it as. People would see you as an excellent brand or a medical brand. How do you want them to see you? Are you the one giving up value? Are you the one giving value often, or you're the one that comes online once you feel it's time to do business, and once you feel it's not time to do business, you just shout off? Take a look at all the um, what telecommunications company we have in Nigeria. You see that the ones that have stood the test of time are those ones that kept showing up despite the odds. MTN, Glow, I know Airtel keep evolving, changing names, Zain, Globalcom, and then we have it keeps evolving. V Mobile. Then finally it changes and changes and changes before we are here in Airtel. But the point is that despite the fact that the market was not rosy, despite all the odds, it's still in the market. Why? Because they kept showing up and they kept evolving. So if you want people to see your brand as a serious brand, keep showing up in the market despite the odds. You don't say because you don't get invitations to speak in conferences every time or in programs every time, you shut up your brand, you go into another business. Then whenever you feel, oh yes, it's people are calling me again. In fact, people will not call you until they see you. Consistency. Consistency is the goal. Consistency brings you the people your brand need. Consistency brings you the sales. It brings you the profits, because consistency is what builds trust. And once people trust you, once people like you, they'll want to buy from you. So keep showing up and keep showing up excellently. Put out the good color, put out excellent content, and before you know, you attract the right audience your business needs. Your brand appearance. You see so many brands, once they come out, people say, these people are scammers. How? Why? It's because of what those people are putting out. Ensure that your brand appearance has have elements of truth, equality, and justice. Ensure that your brand appearance have elements of truth, equality, and justice. Ensure that your brand personality have elements of truth, equality, and justice. So that when people see you, they will say, oh, this brand is a genuine brand. Oh, this brand is unbiased. There are some people that people call because they are unbiased. So put out values that will make people perceive your brand as a brand that stands for truth, as a brand that stands for justice, as a genuine brand. Your brand appearance, how you show up, what you say often, what you support as a brand affects your brand personality, and your brand personality affects how the market sees you. How the market sees you affects what profits you would make. So ensure you are showing up well. And when you show up excellently. One of the things that affects your brand appearance, personality, and perception is how you manage your brand. And that is what we call brand management. Your brand perception is influenced by your brand's management. Who is managing your brand? What idea are you using to scale your brand? Now, those ideas would go a long way to affect your brand appearance, which will in turn affect your brand personality, which definitely affects how people see your brand. So, if you want to create the right perception in your audience, then manage your brand well. If you want your brand to be seen as an excellent brand, manage your brand excellently. If you want your brand to be seen as a professional brand, manage your brand professionally. You see, there are some sets of public speakers that people call them often. You keep seeing them on flyers. You speak. It looks as if they are rotating them in programs. You see them in this program, see them in this program, see them in this program. It's not because they are actually different. It's because they keep showing up excellently. People want to associate with excellence. So if you want people to see you as an excellent brand, you manage your brand excellently. Manage it professionally. Don't do it the way every other people have been doing things. You can't avoid to lose money because you are not doing things excellently. If you want them to see your brand as the one that stands for professionalism and excellence, go ahead and utilize strategies that will produce excellent results no matter how much it costs. Offer professional services too. Don't let your customers complain about your services. They say, oh, you're supposed to deliver this, or you're supposed to be at an event center by 8 a.m. Program starts by 8 a.m. But because you are the speaker, you decide to go by 10. Do you think they will invite you for that program again when next they are having it? If they consistently see you as one who goes late to program, they might not. If you have the value, you have the message, but people, other organizations who are key on time management might not call you anymore, or they gave you 30 minutes to speak. You decide to use 1 hour and you keep begging them, oh, I have so much value to give you, but then I want you to give me 1 hour. They might not call you next time. So these are the little things we should look at as speakers too. These are the little things. These are the little things. Or for instance, an organization called you to come speak. You could arrange with them to come pick you in your venue. Or you can personally go ahead. If you don't have a car, go ahead, take and book an Uber or a boat instead of chartering a bike. Yes, people are not thinking the way you are thinking. There are so many people with different perceptions. Some persons might not even listen to you because of the way you showed up. I'm not saying as a public speaker you shouldn't be your authentic self. Be your authentic self excellently. Preach what you are. Live what you're preaching. If you're preaching time management, stick to time management. If you're preaching excellence, stick to excellence too. There's nothing excellence about chartering a bike to the venue when you know you can actually book an Uber that will take you to the venue, or plan with those who invite you to set up a private vehicle to take you to the venue. Those are the little things that we often do not take note of. Those are the little things, how we show up, how we show up. Those are the little things that affect how people see our brand. So start setting targets for your brand appearance. Start setting targets, because these things will affect how your audience sees you, and how your audience sees you determines the scalability of your brand. Like I said earlier, your brand personality is dependent on your brand management. In fact, brand management affects your brand appearance, and your brand appearance affects your brand perception. That is just it. People would always want to put you somewhere. Is either they put you as black or white. Is either you are strong or you're weak. So poor brand management, when you don't manage your brand well, you end up having a poor brand appearance. And once your brand appearance is poor, people would start seeing your brand as a poor brand, as a weak brand. So it's simple. Poor brand management equals poor brand appearance. Poor brand appearance equals poor brand perception. And what's that? It's a weak brand. Meanwhile, on the other hand, excellent brand management affects excellent brand appearance, and it equals excellent brand perception. Excellent brand management equals excellent brand appearance, and it definitely leads to excellent brand perception. So if you want your brand to be seen as an excellent brand, manage it excellently. What's the benefit of having a strong brand? Having a strong brand creates trust. Yes. When people trust you, they want to buy from you because they know you can deliver on that particular service. Excellent brand, having a strong brand, having an excellent brand commands premium costs. When you have a strong brand, no matter the amount you give to people, they will want to pay because they know that you can deliver. A weak brand cannot just fix a price per hour. Oh, I speak per hour for this particular amount. When your brand is weak, people might just, oh, they invited you, then they'll cancel the invitation again. So, when you invest in building a strong brand, one of the things is that people would want to pay for what you are worth. Having a strong brand increases sales and demand. I've said that earlier. Having a strong brand promotes customers' loyalty. People like to associate with excellence. They like to associate with things that give them good vibes, that will make people see them as doing well in life. So, if you want your customers to keep coming to you, if you want your customers to keep buying from you, give them excellent service, offer them premium service, and with premium service comes premium price. Having a strong brand brings recognition and influence. Have you wondered why it looks as if a particular brand always receive award of this, award of this, award of this from different organizations? A particular brand, be it a personal brand or a business brand. So the reason why people keep honoring that particular brand is because that brand has what it takes. That brand is a strong brand. So if you want your brand to be recognized, if you want to increase the influence of your brand, invest on having a strong brand. Invest on managing your brand excellently. How do you build a strong brand? How? The first is clarity. Be clear on who you are and what you stand for. That's the key. If you have clarity, if you know the worth of your brand and what your brand stands for, you won't be swayed. You won't be here today and here tomorrow. No matter the odd, you stick to your market, and you know that when you are consistent with who you are and what you stand for, people would trust you, and once they trust you, they will buy from you. Improve the quality of your brand. Offer quality products and services. That's how to build a strong brand. Be visible and constant always. Don't change with the circumstances around your market. Don't show up today and 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 be off tomorrow. Be constant. Be visible no matter the odds. Don't go hiding. Keep showing up as a brand. And when you show up excellently. Don't just show up. Promote yourself. Be addicted to promoting excellence. Promote yourself. When you show up, let's say as a speaker, you run a podcast. I know podcast is so simple to run, and it's most of us see it as something minor, so we don't count it that much. But there is a way you run a podcast that you increase your visibility. People would know you for that particular podcast that you run maybe once a week. You can stick to that once a week and make a name with it. Okay, you run a podcast once a week, or you want to run a podcast once a month. Let people know you for that particular podcast, or you're running a podcast on leadership, or you're running a podcast on relationship. Not that today you started a podcast on relationship, tomorrow you are on leadership, next tomorrow you are on gender equality. No, that's why we said earlier that clarity is very important. Know who you are and what you stand for. If you want to be known as a leadership coach, stick to it. If you want to be known as a relationship coach, stick to it. If you want to be known as a mental health coach, stick to it. And offer your service excellently. Another thing I'm clear about is consistency. Stand for what you stand for always. Stop changing brand name and logo. You see, so many organizations they have actually they have actually destroyed their customers' trust in them because they keep changing their brand name. They keep changing their brand color. Nobody bought your brand, but you keep changing brand name. Who would trust you? Because they might say, how can we trust this person? How do we trust the person's message? You can change strategies. You can change your means of passing information or to your audience. You can change medium, but don't change your message if you want to build trust. Don't say this today and say this tomorrow. People wouldn't want to listen to you because they might think the next thing that will come for you is not worthy of being trusted. Don't trust your message. Imagine going to a church and the pastor says this today, and tomorrow the pastor told you, oh, what I said yesterday is not correct. It is this. And the pastor keeps repeating that. Would you trust the particular pastor? No. That is how it is with brands too. So you want to put your life in something that you trust, right? That is how it is with your brand. People want to hold on to a consistent thing, a message that is long lasting, a message that is unchanging with time, right? So that is how it is with your brand. Those things you are putting out. Are you constantly changing your brand color? Are you constantly changing the logo? You're using this logo today, tomorrow you change to another logo. Find one thing and stick to it. That is the key. Then collaborate and associate with other brands and influencers. If you want your brand to be strong, work with those that are strong. Fly with eagles. If you're an eagle, fly with eagles. Don't fly with chickens. Chickens don't fly. They are weak. So if you want to be strong, work with strong brands too. One of the things that help promoting brands is when an influencer mentions you. So if you want your brand to experience more visibility and profit, work with those that are already in the feed. And over time, you become like them. Collaborate and associate with strong brands and influencers. Then leverage on testimonials. Testimonials are those words, those recommendations, those comments you receive from people that have previously used your brand, people that have experienced your brand. So accept testimonials from your past clients and show them. Show them on your website, show them on your social media handles. Show them, keep showing them. Just the way you printed out your vision statement and mission statement, go ahead and print out your testimonials. Place it in your office. So person consulted you and they gave a comment. They said something beautiful about your work. Print it out. If you can frame it and put it in your office. Put it on your website. Let it be there. Post it on your social media handles. Those little things brings more visibility, brings more connections, bring more deals, because people want to associate with excellence. Thank you so much for coming this far.